We do a lot of rekeying. That means obviously changing the combinations of locks. Instead of replacing them, we actually pull the lock apart and rekey it to a new key. We do a lot of that. We do a lot of real estate agent work as well. We do break-ins, we do secure and put new deadbolts and window locks on houses. We do automotive, we do safes, we do alarms, CCTV access control. So it's quite varied in what we do. But what seems to happen, it seems to be generally the same style of work every day.
For many investors, the art of locksmithing is shrouded in mystery. I spent a day with Justin Fankhauser to unlock the secrets of home security.
We're just going to head off to Coburg. So we've got a lady that needs a rekey done on her back sliding door. So what that means, obviously, she mightn't have keys for the back door, or she wants to recombinate it to a new key. So we're just heading over there now, and yeah, the job should take probably about a half an hour.
Yeah, cool. Is that a common call out that you get?
It is, yeah. Rekeying's pretty popular now. Like, a lot of people have educated on their house security. So sometimes when they don't have keys, it's a really cost-effective way of doing it instead of replacing the lock. So, or either rekeying when you move into a new property is probably the way to go, because what it does, it eliminates all the old keys getting worked in the lock. All right, let's go and do this job. Beautiful.
Okay, so the key's been lost.
That's correct.
And so is the owner nervous about security now?
I think so. I think she's concerned someone might come and use the key to open the door. So what we'll do is obviously rekey it. So then it will stop anyone using the old key to get into the premises if they just lock the fly-wire screen door.
Okay, so what happens when you rekey a lock?
Yeah, what we do is instead of placing the whole lock, it's actually, we pull the cylinder apart. So in a minute I'll show you out in the van, we'll actually pull this cylinder apart and we'll rekey it up to a new combination. So we'll put new pins and springs in and to a new combo, and then obviously that'll change the keyway for it. And we take the cylinder out. So that's one there, one there. We know the next number's 4, so we'll get 4 there. All right, so that's the new key working, and obviously this one now is the old key. The old key won't work now. So we have now successfully rekeyed the door lock.
Perfect.
Beautiful.
If a real estate agent calls you up,
Yep.
what are the most common sorts of jobs with the real estate agents?
Okay, with the real estates, obviously, when they obviously put new tenants in, we rekey the locks, obviously change the combination so the old keys don't work anymore. Obviously, locks failing as well is another big thing as well. So sometimes, obviously, the lock won't open, or it's broken, or maybe the door's jammed. So it varies with agents. It can go anywhere from fitting off new locks to obviously rekeying or fixing up jammed locks or unjamming locks, obviously.
So with landlords, if people are privately renting their property out, do they have to? Would you advise that they change their locks?
Without a doubt, I think it's a big thing to do that now, because once you've been renting the property, obviously you don't want the old tenants to have keys, or someone that's obviously previously had keys have them. So that's one of the major things we do with new properties, and I would suggest to do it is obviously to rekey it to a new key, so you know you're the only people with the new keys issued.
Okay, and would you do that with internal locks as well, or just external locks?
Probably just external. Look, if you wanted to, you can. Look, window locks, as I said before, can be done as well. But the major point is when you do your exit doors on the property. So obviously people can't get inside your house.
You said when you're moving into a big residential development,
Yep.
that it might be a smart idea to change the locks just straight away.
Yeah, that's correct, because what happens they're master keyed, and what that means is obviously you'll have your separate keys to your units, but you might have one key that will go through all the locks. This is commonly done on commercial buildings, obviously for the builder, to make it easier access for his trades. So one of my big hates is obviously making sure that you do it, because people don't do it. And obviously you've got to understand it's just not your keys that can go through the lock, it might be another key as well. So it's very, very important maybe it is important to rekey that lock to make sure only the one key goes through it.
And that's in off-the-plan developments, is it?
It is indeed, yeah. Look, it generally happens with a lot of the apartment style kind of buildings. As I said, it's the easeability of the builder to obviously, or the contractor, to use one key to open up every apartment instead of having 100 sets of keys. But what you got to understand is when you move into your property, you don't really know who's got other keys or master keys to your premises.
Besides changing locks every time a new tenant comes in,
Yep.
Is there anything else they should be doing with security?
Oh, certainly. Look, you can look at stuff for putting in like your CCTV cameras or alarms, obviously, for extra security. Obviously, fitting off the right kind of deadlocks and window locks on your property too. Making sure they work correctly as well. Making sure the doors close and lock correctly as well. So a lot of people leave that, and obviously they can get themselves caught out with obviously after hours calls and stuff like that. So it's important to have a look around the whole property to make sure, obviously, you make sure they're all locking correctly and doing what they're supposed to do, and have keys for all the window locks, obviously.
What do you find that the savvy renovators are actually asking for with internal stuff?
Yeah, I think now a lot of people like the privacy kind of latches on internal doors, obviously for bathrooms and bedrooms and that kind of stuff. So a lot of people now, where years ago you would just have a passage set that anyone could enter, people are really wanting a lock on the door in some styles of locks on doors. But instead of having a key lock, we put some like a privacy set on that obviously you can lock it from the inside, but obviously for emergency purposes you can actually open it from the outside as well. So that's getting quite common now for internal houses.